You're watching Playbook, brought to you by Scooty, the game rewards platform. All right, I think it's time to throw it to one of you guys to play with Tomato because I had way too much fun. So I think we're going to go with Calvin. Yeah, so we're going to throw it to Calvin. So over to you, Tomato.
Okay, it's nice to meet you, Tomato.
Hey, nice to meet you.
I found out about your music through Playbook, and I started listening to Sound of Urchin. A lot of bangers. There are people in the clouds, obviously. I'd like to shout out the Craig Ferguson live performance, because that was just so much energy. I love it. I was wondering if you could talk a bit about the song. You paint a vivid picture through the lyrical content, but I was kind of wondering a bit more about how the song came to be.
Yeah, well, I mean, it started out as an instrumental song, just like this kind of like funky rhythm. The demo was all on keyboards actually, and with like a hip hop beat. And then when we take it to the band, you know, I write the song and I take it to the band, and then it becomes this other animal altogether. And then I know what the lyrics, like, you know, what they mean kind of after the fact, sort of. But I didn't really think about it. I probably like laid down the, you know, like the vocals on top of that demo, you know, the instrumental, and I just like had enough room for this verse and this verse and this verse, and I was like, oh, okay, it's kind of about like a kid that like, he's like getting all psyched, it's Saturdays for swimming, you know, he's gonna go out, broken leg and limping, he's not gonna go today, you know. I don't know I don't know if he's sitting home looking at you know, he's stuck inside looking at the clouds and see it, you know, that's his only form of, you know, of entertainment or form of imagination or whatever. But it just became this, you know, it's twisted thing where this kid just keeps trying to go out, or he's all psyched up Friday, you know, Mondays for school, can't go, get to sit and watch the TV. And, you know, he's watching Price is Right. Gonna spin the big wheel on The Price is Right.
There they go. There they go.
There they go. Exactly. So, I mean, that's as much meaning as in the song, but it really wasn't intentional like that, you know?
So, Diamond album, obviously full of hits. Police Helicopters Over Brooklyn and White Dove are two of the most popular on Spotify with People in the Clouds. I like Drank Too Much of the Potion on Black Castle and Fearless Vampire Killers on the self-titled. Is there any other gems or favorites in your discography that I haven't mentioned that you think you want to shed some spotlight on?
Oh, wow. Thanks for liking those. Yeah, I mean, Zen Magic Marker is one of our, you know, sort of, we just kept and keep experimenting with music and with songs, and whatever comes out is what comes out, you know. I like, I mean, those are great choices. Fearless Vampire Killer is one of my faves, you know. And then you could go to like a song like The Door off of The Diamond, which is another one of my personal faves, depending on what mood I'm in. I love there's an album called Rejoice, Jesse Tenzer, All Reality Has Changed. There's, you know, but you're asking me, so every song's my favorite, but, you know, I appreciate anyone that gets stuck on a song, and then, to me, you know, getting into music and getting into a band is all about that. You get stuck on a song and then you venture out a little bit. Like, oh, this is cool. You like it for one reason, and then maybe you're not sure about that other song or that other kind of style. But we were going to be called Urchin, like in the early days, like just call us Urchin. And me and the guy that sort of started the band, we realized that, like, no, we want to be like we were the Sound of Urchin, because we can't be like, we're like a category of music. Like, we can't be like pigeonholed into something. So we're not Urchin, we're the Sound of Urchin, you know? And so whatever song we make is the Sound of Urchin.
That's awesome. I wanted to ask about Tomato's House of Rock, and if or how maybe Gary Chester's New Breed might tie into some of that. If you could talk a bit about both.
Oh, yeah. Well, you know, once the music industry kind of, sort of dried up, and we were still on tour and doing stuff. Obviously, the money from the music from the labels wasn't coming in, so I got into teaching. My mentor Gary Chester, taught me drums from age 8 to 18, and he's his book, his legacy is in his book, The New Breed. That drummers like drummer from Tool and drummer from Primus, they all still use to this day. So it's a famous book out there, and he was my mentor. So I kind of wanted to be, when again the music industry money kind of dried up and we were still going on the road, I just naturally fell into teaching, and I wanted to take it a step further and start my own school. So I started Tomatoes House of Rock, and we just took it and ran with it. And funniest thing is that eventually it ended up where we took some of the kids on a Sound of Urchin tour, and we called it the Sound of Urchin Orchestra, and we went on tour, and we had 8 kids came on the road with us. Their parents they were seniors in high school, and it was kind of their senior thesis or their last senior thing. And one, instead of going to the prom, went to was on tour with us, and so we showed them the real life, But that's like the short story of how that all happened. But yeah, I got to become a mentor, like my mentor,
Rad.
Yeah.
Bringing the kids on tour, that's incredible.
That was fun. They had a blast. We got this Sprinter van. We put all the equipment in the back of the Sprinter, and there was an Xbox in the van, and the kids had fun. They had a lot of fun. Yeah.
Awesome. Last couple quick ones. Working in the Ween family of musicians. Do you have a few tidbits about that? Because they're fun.
Yeah, a lot of fun. I mean, we've been playing with Ween in different offshoots, or even Ween. Me and Bill from Urchin played in Ween. For a few shows. We're in the Dean Ween Moist Boys offshoot, Dean Ween group. I'm in a band with Dave from Ween called Crescent Moon, the bass player. So it's a bass and drums duo. We just did a show the other night. I didn't know them personally. They found Urchin, through BL, who knew them personally, and we had just made an EP, our first EP. And it got in the hands of Mickey Dean Ween, and we were just, I guess it was fate, we're out there like they are. We have our pop songs and our weird songs, and and we just hit it off, and we've been playing with each other ever since. I mean, it's a family of musicians, and we all play in offshoots, and I mean, we'll record songs that no one's ever heard together, and it's really like the place where we all get to create music, and where it's still that kind of spirit. It's that old school spirit of rock and roll where anything goes. And yes, they're a lot of fun, and we've had a lot of fun on the road with them. And I mean, yeah, it's a good and they're still alive, well today, and just as brown, that's their term. Just as brown as ever, and it's good to see, and it's good to be a part of.
Brad, my final question is, how was meeting Questlove on the set of the Naked Brothers band?
See, this is the thing about, when you're in a band like Urchin or Ween, or you're in the Ween family, like, you don't know what the next thing you're going to be doing is, you have no idea, and I got this call, hey, do you want to be on the Naked Brothers band, which is like this children's show, on Nick at night, or Nick during I don't even know, Nickelodeon, maybe it's just Nickelodeon, it's not even at night because it's a kid show, and it's like, yeah, they're doing this thing, it's like they want 3 drummers, so we got Questlove, we got Claude from Ween, and we want Tomato. I was like, oh, this would be great, I'll do anything, well, I mean, to a limit, but sounds like fun. Cool. I've never been on a kids show before. I've never acted, like really acted. So if you watch the episode, it's really funny. They play a prank on one of their friends, and I forget the actual prank, but we are kind of like, we have to go there and we have to go in and we have to like get mad at the kid for playing a prank on this kid, and we end up like in a courtroom, and they asked me if like somehow we were on trial, me and Questlove and Claude, and they said, hey, one of you guys want to do like a pratfall, and like those guys didn't want to do it, so I'm like, all right, I'll do it. So they kind of push us into the courtroom, and I fall on the floor and actually hurt myself. It actually hurts. Well, I mean, not really bad, but I fell on the floor, and I was like, oh wow, that actually hurts. I didn't know how to even do it, But so that's how that happened. So we were on the show.
Well, thank you for fielding my questions. I appreciate that.
Yeah, thanks, man. I appreciate it.